that is Branston Pickle. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing Branston Pickle, or a variation of Branston Pickle. We're going to try and get it nearly the same, and we've got quite a lot of vegetables to get through: cauliflower, onions, carrots, swede. So we're going to crack on with the swede right from the start, and then we'll compare it to the original Branston. So swede, what we have to do is peel the swede, and we're cubing so small because if you know a jar of Branston, everything is so small inside. So we are just going to peel these and cube them really small. Okay, so it's straightforward on the swede, you know. We're just going to come round the swede, and these are absolutely fantastic, you know. You just come round with your knife like that, follow it all the way around. I'll do one first so you can see what we're doing. There's no point you watching me do all the swede, that'd be crazy. So all the way around there like that. Now, swede is known as rutabaga in America, across the pond. So if you wanted to follow this recipe and you are over the pond, you are using rutabaga. I'll just chuck that there. Right, swede has to be diced really small. So we want to be probably about ½ centimetre, I reckon. And we are just going to cube these so small. So we have a little pile of matchsticks there, look, and we want to be coming in there like that. Now, what I would suggest is that you don't worry about if you have some bigger than others. Who cares? Looking at that, look, we want some little cubes like that, and these are tiny, and we're going to stick those in a bowl, and there's going to be a huge pile here in a minute, and then we'll carry on with the rest of the veg. So there we are, that's our swede done, and now we've got to get on with some onions. In proportion, when you read one of these jars, it actually tells you quite clearly, in proportion of 52% of vegetables, you've got carrot, rutabaga, onion and cauliflower. So obviously rutabaga and carrots are roughly the same, and then it's coming down with onion and cauliflower. So we need to fine dice some onion. Now we have to fine dice everything, obviously, because it's going to be made into a pickle close to this jar. Now what I will say is, I have never seen anyone try and replicate from the ingredients on the Branston jar. I've seen many recipes of people making a pickle, and I've done it myself actually. I think there might even be one on the channel of making a brown pickle like a relish. Tastes fantastic, but not with the ingredients as listed on there. So this is going to be a first. Ah, yuck. Now I've got my eyes watering with those onions. I've already peeled the carrots. Now we just need to cube them. Now they have to be roughly as small as the swede. So in we go. Always take off the side so you've got a flat base to work with. Always. Now if you had a veggie cutter that cuts everything square, use that, just chuck it in. We're doing it all by hand. want some cauliflower as per the jar. Now obviously this cauliflower is going to have to be small. It ain't going to be big bits of cauliflower that's in that jar. So we just need to be getting in, and we're going to have to cube it up or dice it up really, really small. And I don't think it's going to be that hard to do, to be honest. There you go. In fact, we'll have some stalk as well. Now, we're just going to do that, actually. And we are going to use that stalk. Because after all, it's all cauliflower. So, we just need to keep plodding. I'll have some of that off there. We just need to keep plodding on as best we can with little bits of cauliflower on there. There's no big chunks in that jar. So I think we're onto it by doing it like this. Nice and steady. Okay, so working down the list then of that jar, there is quite a lot of stuff on here already, look. Because we're intending to make about 8 or 10 jars of this. Quite clearly we've got carrot, rutabaga, cauliflower and onion. That's the 4 vegetables that make up 52% of this jar. So we'll just chuck those to one side. On the jar, it clearly says barley malt vinegar. Well, there's the malt vinegar there. Spirit vinegar. Now, spirit vinegar is a vinegar that's made for industry. And the nearest we're going to get to it is using white vinegar. So we're going to use white vinegar for the spirit vinegar. Tomato puree straight out of a tin, date puree in brackets, dates and rice flour. Okay, we're going to liquidize some dates with some rice flour to make the date puree. It tells you what to do on the jar. Salt, apple pulp. Apple pulp is obviously apples pulped up. So that's quite easy. Modified maize starch, that's corn flour. And then we've got colour, caramel, concentrated lemon juice, so we've got lemons, food colour, which is barley malt extract. I have some barley malt extract. And then we've got the spices. Okay, what we're going to do is crack open this jar. We're going to whack some of this Branston in there. And we're going to have a mess about. So I don't exactly see cauliflower, but they say it's listed. It's listed. And as you can see by those in there, look, we have got roughly, that's obviously carrot, look, it's an orange colour. So you can see we have got nearly the same size, so that's okay. This other stuff that's actually taken on the colour is probably Swede. I reckon the Swede's taken on all that malt colour in there. The date puree is all going to be mixed in with there. We've got all bits of stuff in there, look, but I can't see any cauliflower as such. But it must be there. That might be cauliflower there, look. And it's got that very strong vinegary taste. So we know what we're working to. We've diced this lot up pretty good actually to the scale of that there. So what we need to do now is make a date puree. So we're going to take some dates. Obviously we don't want any ends. We're going to take that stone out and then we're going to give these a little bit of a blending. I'm going to blend those up with some rice flour. Now I don't know what the rice flour's there for, apart from a thickener, but I would imagine that these are quite thick anyway. So that's all we're going to do. Whip out the stone, blend these up. Let's carry on. Okay, we want some lemon juice, concentrated lemon juice. So it can't get much more concentrated than fresh lemon juice. So we're just going to squeeze some in here. Okay, and it calls for apple pulp. So we need some apple pulping. So basically we're going to peel it, chop up the apples. It doesn't matter if they go brown, it's going to be in a brown pickle. And then we're going to liquidize it with a bit of water, like we're going to liquidize the dates with a bit of water. So peel your apple any which way that you normally do. You don't even have to cube it up too small, because we're going to blend it anyway. Okay, we are ready to put this all together. Now we're going to pulp up the apple first, and then we're going to do the dates. Now obviously we're going to cook with water, but we're going to put some water in here just to help pulp up those apples. So chuck that lot in there. So we're looking for a good quality apple pulp. That's easy enough. Is apple pulp in there. Okay, now we want to put a little bit more water in there, I reckon, because it's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to take our dates, because it says date pulp. It's going to be a heck of a job, this one. So we're going to go in there with that. And it does say rice flour. So we'll put a little bit in and we'll give it a blend. So let's have that date pulp out of there and into there. Okay, I'm working this out as we go along. Look, I actually feel like it's fairly reasonable actually. I don't think it's that complicated. I think it's just pulling it all together. So we want a pan. We've got a pan and we're going to chip all our veg in there. So there's carrots, onion. I just love this, you know. We used to make things in bulk for years and years. I wouldn't say it's fun, this, but I would say it is fun. So let's just get in there and give that a mix through. Okay, you can use a spoon if you want, but there's nothing in here yet, so in there. And then we want our rutabaga. Oh my word, this is a full pan, this one. So get in there, give it a good mix. Okay, we want some water in there. We will boil this. So I'm going for about 800 millilitres or 900 millilitres of water. We're getting a flame on and off we go. We have a spoon. Oh, we'll see how we go. We might have to add a little bit more water because we can thicken it anyway. Now, another thing that's going to be interesting, cooking this on this little burner instead of cooking it on an industrial burner like we used to do before. Well, that is the objective. We are going to achieve it. The thing is with a Branston, you know, it has a fantastic crunch to the vegetables, so they're not cooked for very long. Now we've got this big pan here. Just imagine the cauldrons that Branston will be using to make all those thousands of jars. Whew. The amount of veg that's going through there must be enormous. Okay, what we're going to do is add our salt, because I think the salt is going to help break down that veg in there as it's cooking. That's going to release some more fluid. It's getting easier to manage now. Look, the veg has actually released some fluid in there as well now. So we might have worked out enough fluid, or we can be just over, I reckon, because we've got all that vinegar to go in yet, that lemon juice and that white vinegar, and we've already got a good amount of fluid in here. Okay, we're getting a little boil on there now, look. I think that salt has actually drawn out quite a lot of fluid from that veg. So that might have been a good way to do that. That is enough cooking there, right there. So, lemon juice, because he said lemon concentrate. He said spirit vinegar, we're using white vinegar. Let's give that a little mix in. Quite a nice smell, that, actually. Our date pulp in there. Let's have that stirred in. Tomato puree. Don't forget, it's a tomato paste. Make sure it doesn't sink to the bottom. It's like anything with these pastes, you know, when you make a paste in bulk, anything like tomato puree or anything like that normally sinks to the bottom. So watch you don't burn it. It actually smells incredible. In fact, I can't believe how it smells. It smells fruity, actually. It smells lovely. Right, this is our barley extract. That's going to change the colour a bit, I reckon. Let's have some of that in there, stir it round. Let's get that out of there. We want all that barley goodness. Now just work it across the top like that first. Let's not get it sunk right down at the bottom. Now stir it in. Pretty good. Sugar. In there. Again, don't let it stick on the bottom. Okay, ground allspice, onion powder, cloves, black pepper and mustard. Or vinegar. Don't be frightened, get it chucked in. Now we're going to let that cook about 20 minutes. And then we're going to put some corn flour in and thicken this thing up. The taste of that actually is wonderful. I'm going through all my spoons. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think, honestly, as it looks at the moment, I think we put in about half a litre of water too much. So looking at this, I reckon we should have gone for 800, a litre of water only. Now we use water in the apple pulp, we use water in the date pulp, and we put water in here. Now I reckon by working out this, we should have just gone with the water in the pulps and then seen how we go, because putting the salt in with the veg has drawn out more fluid anyway. A nice bubble going on there, look now. We want about half an hour of bubbling away. Now it's not going to thicken up too much, so we are going to use cornstarch, and that's what it says on here. Modifies maize starch, corn flour. Colour's looking about right. I think we need to start to thicken this up a little bit as we're going along, because we can't whiz it up right at the end. Let's give it a go. Good amount of cornstarch there, about 100 grams. It's the same colour, but this still needs thickening up. I'm just going to keep letting this simmer a little bit. Okay, it's been a couple of hours and we've got this. This is absolutely stunning. I'm not kidding. I'm really, really pleased. Now, the thing for me is that this is not quite as thick as the Branston. This might cool down a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to be as thick as that. I think that has got more modified cornstarch, as in corn flour, in than we have. I do think we have got an absolutely cracking pickle. I really do. Now, this one's a Branston, this one's ours. Branston pickle, quite thick, chunks in there, look. Ours, thick, but not as thick as that one. Slightly different colour, because we didn't use a colour, we used the malt extract as the colour. They use caramel in theirs, as marked on the back of this jar, caramel colour. As far as the pickle goes, our pickle is cubed up the same as the Branston. What does it taste like? The all-important taste test. Branston. Crunchy vegetables. Wow. Wow. Very vinegary. Very, 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 very sour. I wouldn't recommend eating any of this stuff without eating it on ham or cheese or anything like that. Ours, wow. Ours, crunchy vegetables. Wow. Vinegary, but not as sour as that. Ours is a little bit sweeter. A tad sweeter than the Branston. and ours carries a little bit of a nice warming edge to it, which is probably that black pepper and mustard that we put in, because obviously spices listed on here are not listed, but you can taste the cloves and the allspice. It says herbs and spice extracts, but it doesn't quite give you what it is. But when you've been eating for years and years and years and cooking, in there is allspice in there, and we added clove to this, tiny bit of clove. We added the pepper and the mustard, which gives it a nice little warm over the edge. It's not spicy by any means. It's very, very pleasant. Overall, do I think we've achieved this? What I actually think, in all honesty, is this is a fantastic pickle. It is a fantastic copy of this pickle, and probably the only copy on the internet using the ingredients on the back of this jar. Everybody else adds all sorts of things. So we have copied this very, very well indeed. Actually, this is a tiny bit sweeter than this. This is sour. In fact, I didn't realize how sour it was actually, because I eat it all the time. This is a little bit sweeter, and it has that little warming edge over the top with the spices. Which do I prefer? It's a hard one. Now, I am not going to lie, it is a real hard one. I've eaten Branston for years and years and years. What do I think of this? I think this is brilliant. I absolutely think this is brilliant. I think we've virtually, I would say 99.9% cracked that jar right there. Really, really and truthfully. In the ingredients list, you will see their ingredients and you will see my ingredients, how we've worked both ingredients, and the only thing that's probably different, this uses spirit vinegar, which is only available to the trade, and spirit vinegar is going to be stronger than the white vinegar that we've got, and I think that is why this is more sour than our jar. And I'm that confident that Branston people can actually look at my ingredients and compare to theirs, obviously on a small scale, and I will guarantee that 99.9% we are nearly there. Nearly there. This is a fantastic pickle. This is a fantastic copy of that pickle, and it's probably the only copy on the internet using their ingredients listed on the back of that jar. All the rest have got all sorts of things listed. Overall, that is fantastic. We are going to can that. I've got Branston Pickle. Oh, for a couple of months there. That is absolutely superb. If you like what we're doing, don't forget the big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video. Fantastic. Okay, I can't leave it without finishing off the video. You know, you thought the video was finished. It's a long-winded video, but I've canned this, and what I've done, we boiled the jars for 10 minutes to sterilize them in boiling water, and then we filled the jars up, which you saw on the video. However, I then sealed them with the lid on and then put them in the boiling water for another 10 minutes to seal the jars. So these are sealed. Now, I've got quite a lot of jars. You can see down there, we've had to put them all down there. There's a lot. However, I haven't opened these jars since they've been sealed. They've been stood 48 hours. And I want to see if that is as thick as the Branston Pickle. Now it's had time to go cold. It looks like it is. It looks like it's not moving in the jar. Exactly the same as the Branston. So we're going to open this and we're going to have a look. No, we're not. Yes, we are. There you go. That is not running like when we first made it. That is Branston Pickle. Oh man. Lid on. Look at that. It looks exactly the same. Come on. That is absolutely fabulous. It's sour. All the spices have melted together. Oh. Fantastic. End of video. We have cracked the Branston Pickle.